everyone, and welcome to another episode of my Woman Who Inspires series. My name is Sreshtha. I am the director of the Self-Worth, Leadership, and Empowerment Consultancy. I am also a motivational speaker and a wholeness guide. Ultimately, I just want mental freedom for all women. In this series, we speak about our negative emotions or perceived negative emotions and how those emotions are really little messages from the universe telling us that we shouldn't stay where we are, and it's really pushing us to something better and sometimes even our purpose. In this series, I'm lucky to have a diverse group of women from all over the world. And today I have with me Christine Malek from Knoxville, Tennessee. Christine is the owner and CEO of Christine Consulting. She provides coaching services and many other things, and I will let her tell you about all the services that she provides. Hi, Christine.
Hi there. How are you?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm great, honey. Thank you.
So tell us about all the wealth of services that you provide under Christine Consulting.
I do business consulting. I started out doing that. I help small business owners with their business, everything from themselves, their employees, marketing, advertising, whatever issues happen to come up. I started out as a copywriter, so I got into the social media side. And then from there, I got into the coaching side, being able to coach the actual owner and help him or her through any issues. And then from there, I went on to do my SASSI side.
Yes. She had a post on Friday. I don't know if you recall the post, Christine, but that post was like, yes, man, you rock my world.
Thank you. Thank you. That one just kind of came to me and I had to go with it. I knew it was definitely I needed to post it. Thank you.
Yeah. You remember the post just so we could share with the audience? I just remember the last word was sass.
Ruffle your feathers and blow some minds. Yes. Let's ruffle some feathers and blow some minds.
Yes, I like that. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to blow some minds.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
So I only met Christine like maybe about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and she was kind enough to accept my invitation to come in the series. So Christine, I'm very grateful for having you here. And if anything Christine said resonates with you, please feel free to check out the description box below. I'm going to have all of her information, including her full bio. So do that if anything resonated with you. And now, Christine, I would invite you to share with us an emotional healing journey.
Probably the biggest one is the one that brought me to Knoxville. I spent 30 years in Florida, originally from Pennsylvania. I went through my first divorce, had some really rough times for about 3 years, met a man, thought he was the world. Turned out he wasn't. He was the devil. In the beginning, he was all sweet and nice and perfect, but the abuse got really bad. And it started verbal, mental, physical. The physical abuse was really bad. Constant black and blue eyes, bruises all over my body. I've had cracked ribs, a broken wrist, and I did survive a gunshot wound to the head. From there, it took a lot to get out of the situation. It was my home. So trying to get him out of the home. We got married, we dated, we got married. Trying to get him out of the home was tough, and it was hard to go from being the strong woman before I met him to being a completely submissive woman after I met him, and then to try and go to being a strong woman again. And when I say strong, I am referring to the SASSI, which is we have to be strong, assertive, smart, sexy, and independent, and it's a stage that we go through.
So, wow, Christine, I can't even fathom. So I actually did a series before on mental and emotional abuse. So I understand that journey because I know how they wear you down. They start with the mental and the verbal and emotional, and then it goes to physical. I can't even fathom though surviving physical abuse to that extent. And you even spoke about a gunshot wound. So can you describe going through those things? What emotions were you feeling and how did you process through that?
The emotions were a lot on myself. I as much as I hated him, and I don't like using that word, I hated myself more I felt belittled, betrayed, useless. I was subhuman. I mean, every word that you could possibly think of, you go through when you experience that. The physical abuse those heal. Obviously, my wrist healed, my ribs healed, the black and blue eyes heal. It is that emotional, verbal, mental, and the spiritual, and your full spirit just goes. That's the part that takes the longest to heal. Those four. Um, it was tough. It took a. I didn't have anybody that I can go to. I didn't. My mom had already passed. I don't have any sisters. I was supposed to be that strong woman that helped everybody else. So who was I supposed to go to? So I didn't have anybody to be able to say, "Hey, what do I do? What happens from here? How do I get out of this situation?" Um, Throughout the marriage to him, I ended up in the hospital because the only way to kill the pain was to drink alcohol. So I ended up in the hospital because of the alcoholism. Had 4 surgeries, 15 procedures. Um, Again, I was forced to rely on him to come back into the house after a year spending in the hospital to help take care of me, help me heal, get better. Um, it's belittling. It was tough. And like I said,
Yeah.
I didn't have anybody that I could go to. So trying to
Mhm.
find somebody that wasn't an option. So through going to the internet, finding quotes, something that would kind of boost me on a daily basis to give me enough strength to be able
Mhm.
to pull myself up by my bootstraps and say enough is enough. I have to get out of this, because if I don't stop it, nobody will. I needed to
Yeah.
say enough was enough.
Yeah. And as interesting, because woman, I saw a post the other day, and sometimes posts triggered me. So the post said, "Don't be a victim." But you don't walk into anything saying, "I'm going to be a victim in this situation." It happens, and it happens without you knowing it. That moment when you have a guard down, or you just really were sold on an idea. And then that person just turned suddenly, and you are in this situation. And it's not simple to just get up and leave. You see so many posts in the Caribbean, why she don't leave, why she don't, but it's not that easy. It's not easy to get up and walk out, and in your case, your own house, and leave your own house. And as a woman to going through a situation like that, you do feel ashamed, because I mean, I didn't have the brunt of that, but on the mental side, you do feel like, how did I end up here, and what did I do to be here? And I'm sorry that it went so badly that you had to turn to alcohol and go into the hospital. So I want to ask you, how did you start to turn around, or how did you find the strength to say, no, I'm not going to continue like this, and I'm going to take whatever steps it is you took in order to come out of it?
I think the biggest thing, two things actually happened. Um, while I was in the hospital and going through the first time that I was in the hospital was a long extended stay. It was 8 weeks. That's where I had the 4 surgeries. Um, they told me a few weeks after I came out of recovery that I had actually died on the table twice. And I did not know this when you come out of recovery in ICU. And I was not aware of this till like a week or so later. Although I was curious why the priest kept coming to my room twice a day. And I would always tell him, and I was a Catholic. It's a little farther than that, but I would always tell the priest, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. Because I didn't want to face, and I certainly didn't want to tell anybody else what I had gone through. So when I found out that I had died on the table twice, something triggered and said, if the alcoholism didn't kill you, the abuse didn't kill you, and you survived death on the table twice, you're here for a purpose, Christine. So I knew at that point that I needed to do something. I needed to help other women. And the second thing that happened to me, it was after the second stay in the hospital. I had to go back in, had another surgery. Was in for about 6 weeks on that one. I came home. Oh, and in between all that, I got addicted to pain meds. That was not fun. He happened to be out of the house, and I was laying in bed one night, and I just was praying to God to please take it all away. And I'm not a God type person. As much as I'm Catholic, I do believe in God, but I also believe in a higher power. But I prayed to God. I said, please just take away all this pain in my body, take away all the negative thoughts, take away all the self-destruction that I had done, take away everything. And it was the most, I later found out that what I had experienced that night when I asked, the Archangel Michael came to me while I was laying in bed in so much pain, and wrapped his wings around me, and I cannot even begin to describe it was a heat, but not a burning heat, the white light, the enveloping of true love. And he whispered in my ear, it's going to be okay. As he hugged me in his feathers and his body. And that was another turning point. I think that was the point that when I got up the next morning and I was like, did I dream this? Was this real? I'm looking at my bed, which at that point I was sleeping in alone. And I said, is this real? Did this really happen? And as I tried to recall all the memories and everything that I felt, I knew I had to go through with whatever. I didn't know what my purpose was, but I knew there was a purpose. At that point, I did not know what it was, but I knew I had to do something. And that's where I think I gained that tiny little bit of strength to be able to say, enough is enough. I have to do something. Something has to be done. And the only person to do it is going to be me. When he tried to come back to my home, I said no. And that was the first time that I actually said the words no. It's 2 letters, N-O. It's so easy to say. We say it to our children, but why can we not say it to this man that is hurting us worse? And I said no. And he actually looked at me like, what do you mean? And tried all the manipulation, all the things that a narcissist, abusive person will do. It felt good. It felt really good. I felt empowered again. However tiny that empowerment was, it felt awesome to be able to say, enough is enough. I do not have to take this. This is not the life that is for me. I am a woman. I am strong. And just because I am a woman does not mean that we have to be subjective to this type of abuse. And not to say that was easy, because he did come back several times. And every time I was able to say, no. And just that simple word was enough, and to be able to find that little bit of strength to say, put my foot down and say, enough is enough.
Right. And from that, so tell us of your journey now to becoming this sassy person from that experience.
It's been a long one. All that happened. I went into the hospital in 2016 to 2017. My last surgery was in April of 2017. I kicked him out in 2018. Divorce was finalized in 2020. Here we are, 2022. And it's only been within the last month or so that everything happens for a reason. And I know that everything I went through back then and everything that got me here to Tennessee, and all the journey of fixing up my home and taking care of my home. And I had lost 3 animals in the interim. Got 3 more. They're wonderful. Selling the home, going through that, getting to Tennessee, and the journey to get here. It may seem like a long time from 2018 and 20 to 2022, but everything happens for a reason. And I needed to learn those lessons on my journey to bring me where I am today. And that is to be able to help other women realize that there is something we can do, that there's a path there, and there are other women out here that have been through it. We know what you're going through, and we feel it, and we can help you get through. I say there's 3 stages. It's just my personal opinion, but I think there's 3 stages of the abuse. Obviously, 1 is going through the abuse. 2 is getting out of the situation. 3 is that next step. Okay, I'm out of the situation. Now what? What do I do now? Where does my life go? How do I move forward? What is my purpose in life? Every woman needs to have one. And that's where I decided to take my coaching to the next level and help those women. And that's why I do the SASSI group and my SASSI teachings. And because I love that. It's because we are strong, assertive, smart, sexy, and independent. We are empowered women. We can do this. We can ruffle some feathers and blow some minds.
Yes, I love that. And oh my, this is such an amazing story and speaks to the power of prayer. And you really had such a touching experience. And I love how you said that, everything that you're going through, and it's such a difficult thing that you went through. I can't even fathom. I haven't interviewed anyone on my domestic abuse awareness series who has gone through what you have gone through. In terms of the physicality of it and being in the hospital and all of that. But you are really a testament to the fact that, when we go through these things, it is for a higher purpose. And you are chosen, definitely, having had that experience. I'm not even Christian, but I know and I appreciate the angels. I have felt the love of angels, and I could see that those angels are around you, and you are just wrapped in their light and love. So I'm so grateful that you had the courage to share your story. And I want to ask you, given that your experience was so delicate, are you grateful for what has happened? And if yes, why?
That would be a resounding yes. I am grateful for all that because it would not have brought me to where I am today. If I did not go through that, I would be just a normal Christine. I would be who knows where. I would be stuck in a different relationship. I might be stuck single. I have an awesome relationship with my 3 adult children. I don't have a man in my life. Don't care if I do or don't. I have my 3 animals. I have my home in Tennessee that I'm not bound to. I have so much more, monetarily, physically, like personally, emotionally, spiritually, that I would not have today if I didn't go through that experience. It almost killed me, obviously, figuratively and literally, but it was worth it. It was worth it. I would I say I would do it again? No, but yes, I am grateful for where I am today because I have the opportunity to, and it took me a long time to be able to share the story because of that shame that you mentioned earlier. It's only, like I said, been within the last couple of weeks that I'm able to transfer from being a business consultant, always putting up that wall and that strength, and to be able to say, you know what, let me drop that curtain. Let me drop that iron curtain and share my story. I'm very grateful for where I am today. I love it. I love life. It is so great. I get up in the morning and I look in the mirror in the morning and I say, good morning, beautiful.
Yes. Go ahead.
Let's have a sassy day today. What feathers can we ruffle and minds can we blow today?
Yeah, you are such a testament to what the intent of this series, right? Because it is really just about that. No matter what we are going through, we all go through things. No matter what anyone is going through, no one is bigger or more difficult because it's your own journey. We all process things differently. Something that may be easy for me may be hard for you and vice versa. but it is to take those lessons that we are learning on the journey and just finding your most beautiful, mentally free you, which is it's clear that you have found with all your sass. So I want to ask you before we close, is there anything you would tell your younger self, or if you have a message for women?
Find help. Find somebody that you can talk to. That was probably the biggest thing. And my younger self, now I've seen that post in the groups, and there's not much that I would tell her because, again, I wouldn't be here today if I didn't go through all that. But to the other women out there, talk to somebody. Even if it's just a quick chat, just to check in, just to say hi. Find that person that you can resonate with and say, you know what, I kind of like you. Can I share my story? Can I tell you what I'm going through? Because you might find the woman that will say back to you, you know what, I've been in that situation and this is how I got out.
Yeah, and that's exactly why, again, that I have this series, because to make it okay to talk about the things that hurt us, not to be ashamed of it, to know that when you speak, so many other women are saying, wow, I went through that too. And we connect on a different level, and we have more compassion for each other and what we are going through. So, Christine, I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for accepting my invitation and sharing such a powerful story with us. To my audience, thank you so much for watching again. If you would like to contact Christine, I will have all her information in the description box below. And I will see you guys again tomorrow. This is Sreshtha for the Woman Who Inspires series. Bye, everyone.